With Bungie unlocking all of the fragments for the Strand subclass early, it brought out the true potential of Strand, showing us the incredible capabilities of this subclass. But the Titan Strand subclass, which everyone thought to be left behind in terms of strength, is actually a very strong and fun class. Using the new exotic Abeyant Leap and the aspects and fragments in the Titan Strand subclass, we have a ton of potential here. Before we get into the build, a like and subscription is greatly appreciated and means a ton to me. Now let's get into it. Starting in our subclass, we have the Super Blade Fury, which severs targets with the light attack and deals more damage to suspended targets. And the heavy attack sends out 2 projectiles that suspend enemies. The barricade and movement is going to be up to you. Then we have the melee Frenzied Blade, which severs targets hit. The grenade you're going to want to run on this build is the Shackle Grenade, which suspends any targets hit by the grenade. Suspending targets pins them in the air, rendering them useless, and stunts unstoppable champions. However, it works on any champion, as they cannot do a thing to you while suspended, which is ridiculous as you can nuke any champion suspended. The aspects on the Titan, Into the Fray, and Dranger's Leash are very strong. Into the Fray allows you to give your allies Woven Mail just by destroying a Tangle or casting your super, and while you have Woven Mail, your melee regen is increased. Woven Mail is an incredibly strong buff in PvE, giving you around 65% damage resistance. Dranger's Leash sends a ripple from your barricade that travels forward, suspending and damaging targets hit by it. The Abeyant Leap boots increase this ripple to 3 aggressive tracking ripples that travel further. It also gives you Woven Mail anytime you suspend a target, hence why we're respeccing so hard into suspending. The fragments we are utilizing in this build are going to be the Thread of Mind, which grants class ability energy anytime you defeat a suspended target. Next is Thread of Fury, which grants you melee energy anytime you damage a target with a Tangle, while taking a -10 hit to your strength stat. Thread of Transmutation is next. While you have Woven Mail, Weapon Final Blows create a Tangle, as well as giving a +10 to strength, nullifying that -10 from the previous fragment, as well as synergizing pretty well with it too. To round out the build, we have the Thread of Generation, which simply gives you grenade energy from dealing any sort of damage, while taking 10 stat points from Discipline. Just in our subclass and exotic alone, we have a ton of synergy with the Suspend and Tangle abilities, while almost always getting the Woven Mail buff. Moving over to the stat recommendations, artifact mods, weapons, and armor mods, we'll start with the stats you should focus into. Resilience, Discipline, and Strength will be the ones that you want to go for, so you can have access to as much of our abilities as possible, so we can chain our Woven Mail and subclass capabilities. For the artifact mods, go for the following: Authorized Mods Grenades, Multi-Siphon Mods, Untangler, Allied Unraveling, and Threaded Blast. The first 2 allow us to have cheaper mods, as well as mods that have multiple elements for siphons. Untangler suspends enemies when you destroy a Tangle with a Strand weapon. Allied Unraveling grants you unraveling rounds when you get multiple kills with a Strand weapon with a longer duration near allies. Threaded Blast makes the explosions from destroying Tangles even larger. However, they are larger when you just shoot them instead of throwing them. Now, for the weapons in this build, make sure to have some Strand weaponry. Quicksilver Storm is a great choice if you have the Catalyst completed. The Seasonal Auto Rifle and the Neo Muna SMG are also great, and even better if they have the Hatchling perk, which spawns a Threadling after a precision kill or multi-kills. Now for the mods. On our helmet, we have Hands On, Ashes to Asset, as well as a Siphon mod. This is only possible with our artifact mod that decreases the grenade cost, but if you don't have it, Ashes to Asset can be removed. Hands On gives us super energy on a melee kill, or Ashes to Asset gives us super energy on a grenade kill. The Siphon mod will spawn orbs for us to give us armor charges. On the gauntlets, run double grenade kickstart, as well as heavy handed, which gives us an orb of power when we get a melee final blow. Since we have 3 melee charges available and we get our melee back a lot faster with Woven Mail and damaging targets with a Tangle, this is a good option here since we have our melee up a lot. On our chest, we're going to run 2 charged up mods, so we can have up to 5 stacks of armor charge. If you want to run a resistance mod, then you could take one of the charged up mods off for it and just have up to 4 stacks for armor charge. It's up to you based on your playstyle. On the boots, stacks on stacks, as well as 2 innervations to get 2 armor charges from 1 orb of power, as well as more grenade energy back from picking up orbs. Finally, on the class item, we have 3 bombers here to get a good amount of grenade energy back from using our class ability, which will suspend enemies, further building into the synergy of this build. Overall, this build is incredibly fun and strong, as suspending enemies seems to be pretty strong, as it suspends any enemy in the game that isn't a boss, which renders them useless, and that is ridiculous. Suspend might be one of the strongest subclass verbs in the game at the moment, as it allows you to take any target out with ease since they can't move or damage you while they are suspended. If you try this build out for yourself, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you want to check out more of my content, both my Twitch and TikTok will be linked in the description. I appreciate you making it to the end of the video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.